Hi everyone. I would like to give you a brief tutorial about this series of assignment: the project description, peer assessment, video presentation, and the term paper, and plus draft term paper. You have finished, or you are close to the completion of the uh, impact assessment practice, right? So you have already um, have some experience with some components of impact assessment, like to identify the valued component, to identify the management objectives. So this major assignment uh, provide you another chance to enhance your understanding of the impact assessment processes and make sure you know pretty much the some of the major steps involved are being involved in the relevant to the impact assessment. And just like the uh, uh, impact assessment practice, for this assignment, I have already collected relevant documents for you, and we will learn not just from going through lecture slides, watch lecture videos, but also through reviewing some relevant documents so that we have some ideas, okay, what should be included in one uh, uh, report, in one report, like project, uh, uh, project description or impact statement. Right. So the file, or I have zipped all the files and to provide them online. You just need to download the files to your computer and unzip it. And yeah, so you see the instructions followed there. But I guess many of you are quite familiar with how to get files from zipped files. So I will just skip the reading the paragraph, and just let me know if you have problems to see the exact files. Right? So this is a hypothetical project. Right? And so for the impacts assessment practice, EAI practice, so we have worked on a hypothetical project regarding wind farm, right? And for this one, waste management. Um, the reason for us to work on these two projects has been, is that because in comparison to other types of proposed developments, those assignments are generally um, have limited, very limited environmental impacts, and also their impacts are relatively uh, uh, straightforward to be identified. So it'll be easier for us to understand um, the relevant steps. Excuse me, the relevant steps we will need to follow when we are being tasked with the completion of impact statement. Like for this sample project or hypothetical project, of course, to of course identify the site you will determine, and of course the construction of based on some requirements, right? For example, the construction of one access road, and by the construction of waste disposal pit, and of course there will be relevant site the decommissioning stage. Right? So and this is mainly for Of course, you will need to select a location, right? So could be so if you are located in Sault Ste. Marie, of course, you can identify a location in Sault Ste. Marie, but if you live in a different region, it can be a different region, and anywhere in Ontario, anywhere in Ontario. And so I have provided with some stats, right? So how many people will need to be employed, and how many people will may have maybe temporary workers from outside the region, right? So its impacts, right? So environment impacts can be positive, can be negative, right? And we'll have to identify both the positive and negative impacts. For positive impacts, like what we see here, could be uh, employment, right? The jobs available during the construction of the project, during the operation of the project. And so their impacts on the economy, their impacts on um, the residential rental market, right? So, of course, there are negative impacts we are more familiar with, but when we work on the VCs, make sure we focus both on um, uh, negative and positive impacts, but also not just focus on the natural environment, but also focus on the impacts on the economy, the impacts on the society. So the design of the project has been provided, the information has been provided already. Uh, right. So for this assignment, term of reference, or in many cases, impact statement, or close to, or something very documented very close to impact statement. Um, the scope, right? A description project. I have provided much information there, but you will need to do a little bit more, right, to identify the VCs, for example, identify the VCs, uh, uh, determine the potential environmental impacts I mentioned already, and information about the impact management. Right. So next, we'll talk about them one by one. Right. One, project description. I think the due date is in early May. So the due date is available in the course outline, and also available on the course website. Of course, you will need to have a title. What is it for? What is it for? Have a title, and in many cases, like it's a cover or a title page, right? What is it for? Uh, and then in the follow pages, provide further details. And another important thing is about the regulatory requirements subject to, right? Regulatory requirements. Um, uh, right. So there may be um, relevant different laws, like Environment Protection Act, right? And because potentially uh, the project may impact the water resources. So there may be other laws relevant to water, right? So go ahead, review the relevant documents, and you can find the answer. But also make sure you double check the relevant provincial web pages relevant to waste management. So the requirements may have been updated, because some of the documents I provided may be from 10 years ago. But there may be some changes. Make sure review documents, but also double check the information. VCs, or valued components, VC, VECs. Right? And then what's the minimum? Yeah, the minimum of 500 words. That's just one page. That's just one page. Right. And so make sure you, as you can see, so when you work on the assignments for this course, always double check the grading rubric. Right? Make sure the length requirements is met. Make sure you include the relevant information regarding the policies, regulatory policies relevant to waste management, and the VCs. When you talk about VCs, identify them, right? And briefly describe or explain why they are in, being included, right? Why they are being included. You may want to insert a table, right? Insert a table. It's your choice. It's your choice. And make sure start early and make sure um, there are no grammar and structure problems in your submitted assignment. So that's for the project description and the draft term paper. Well, so the due date for the term paper will be will be in the middle of April, right? Will be in mid-April. I require you to submit a draft term paper. Just make sure you are on the right track. Just make sure you're on the right track.